Hi everyone. In this video, I want to focus on dealing with modified buffers, especially when editing multiple files in Vim at the same time. Let's jump right in. Now, if we open two files to start, we can see them loaded here. These are the buffer numbers. We can ignore this. And the A tells you which buffers are active, aka visible on the screen. Now, if your current buffer is unmodified, you can move to the next one with no problems. For example, B next for buffer next. And you can open new files to edit. But here's where things get hairy. If I make a change, say delete this comment block at the top, then try to move to another buffer, say the first one, or try to open another file, we get identical errors. So here is the main takeaway. Vim will not let you leave a modified buffer without handling it first. You can either save your changes every time before you move to another buffer, which gets old very fast if you're hopping around multiple files, or you can hide the modified buffer and deal with it later. The way you hide a buffer with the buffer commands is to override the warning with an exclamation mark, just like our warning tells us. And we can confirm our previous buffer is hidden and still modified. Hidden, modified. Now that solves the issue with the buffer commands. But what about the edit command, which opens a new file? Going back to our modified buffer, if we try the edit command, Vim reminds us the current buffer is modified and suggests the override. So what happens if we override the error message as suggested? We now loaded the new file and we are good to go there. But we lost our changes from buffer 3. Using the override Vim suggested actually made us lose our work from the previous buffer, which isn't necessarily a bad thing if that's what you wanted. But in either case, know that the override for the edit command is more destructive than the override for the buffer commands. And if we go back to our buffer, our original deletion is back. So the graceful solution, if you want to open a new file, is to hide the current buffer, then edit the new file. So to set things up again, I'll repeat our original change and tell Vim to hide the buffer, then open the new one. Our file reloaded as before, but now our previous buffer is hidden and still modified. In other words, we did not lose our changes. Of course, you cannot ignore modified buffers forever. Before you finally exit Vim, you do have to make a final decision on each modified buffer, and there are multiple ways to do that. Thank you for watching this video, and have a great day.